What is up, y'all? Welcome to another episode of GMAK, the Boiler Man, coming at you from the backyard once again, messing around with different ideas and different camera shots and different views and different offices and different places. I don't know if it makes a difference. I like to be outside. With that being said, appreciate you guys being here as usual. If it's your first time here, man, subscribe to the channel, man. You know you want to. You know you don't want to miss out on any good content. You know you don't want to miss any of these amazing videos that I come on here and talk about. If you're not new to the channel, we also appreciate you being here, and we're thankful every day because without you guys, we wouldn't be where we are today and having this growing channel. And it takes so much time and so much effort that we put into it every single day, but we're here every single day. So whether it be YouTube shorts or long forms, man, we try to give you content every single day and we try to educate the masses. And sometimes we like to have a little bit of fun because that's part of it too, right? So if you haven't already, man, subscribe to the channel. Why not? All right. All it is a push of the button. Doesn't take a lot of work. It's very easy. Won't take you much time. While you're at it, smash the like button. Let's get that algorithm pumping, man, because the algorithm's where it's at. And we're just looking to grow, man. So, on this episode, I kind of wanted to talk a little bit about legacy and how I feel about legacy. There have been a lot of people I've been around in this business for a long time. Some of them care about, how they're remembered. Some of them don't, some of them are in it for the money. Some of them are in it for different things. I'd be stupid if I said that there isn't a money motivation, because I wouldn't be like every other human. We always work to get paid, but I have a greater agenda when it comes to this business. I love teaching it. I love being a part of it. I love troubleshooting. I love helping families because that's a big part of what we do. And I 110% care about my legacy and how I'm portrayed in the business. Because as crazy as it sounds, as much as it seems like there's a lot of competition out there, the truth is, man, it's a very small community of people. And I never wanted to be the guy that people looked at as the cheap son of a or, a guy that couldn't be relied upon or someone that people couldn't look up to. That's just not who I am. I've had a lot of hardships in my life. And being able to take on a leadership role has been something that's very near and dear to my heart. So, as a business owner now and somebody that fancies himself kind of like a mentor to some of the younger generation, even some of the older generation, as sad as that may sound, but, has been something that really drives me. It's really gotten me, excited for the future. It's the thing that gets me up in the morning. It's just as much about the business and the troubleshooting and the helping families and all the things I've already discussed as it is about getting on the job sites and being around the men or women for that matter. I don't have women work for me, but I know they're out there and I'm not knocking it. But with that being said, being around the guys and building camaraderie and leaving a lasting impression on them is something that, more than my knowledge base, more than my skill set, more than how I'm remembered for how I repair, I really want to be remembered for how I impacted the guys, how I impacted their futures, whether that be with GMAK or anywhere else that they go, right? I always want them to be able to look back and say, all right, that guy did it right. And he really helped me out a lot. He really taught me a lot. And I'm super appreciative about that. And it really helps push me every single day because, everybody needs some kind of motivation. For me, that's definitely the biggest motivator, hearing my guys, not only about boilers, by the way, we talk about everything, man. I've taught my guys about investing and taking care of their bodies. I've been in the coaching space for a long time, coaching and mentoring others and also being coached by some high level, business owners, people that have kind of helped me navigate a lot of fairly rough seas for myself. And through that process, I've been able to take things I've learned, it's just like business, right? Like I take the things I've learned over the years and how I've been able to better myself. And then I'm able to pass that on to the next generation to help them navigate their own waters. Cause everybody goes through rocky times. Everybody goes through tough, everybody goes through rough seas at times, and you need to learn, you need the tools to navigate that. So that's been a big part of what I do. And one of the things that's near and dear to me. And I think of all the things, like when it comes to this business, I just want to be remembered for that. You know, I want to be remembered for somebody that cared about people and wanted to help them in any way that I possibly could and teach them and educate not only the guys in the field, but the companies that I work with every single day. And yeah, I don't know, man. It's tough to think about. It's heavy on the heart in a good way. Um, I'm somebody that wears my emotions on my sleeve. So, you know, as much as I come on here with a little bit of a rough exterior and you guys hear me and you see me speak, I'm very emotional about things like this because, you know, I feel like in this world that we live in now, it's been a little bit up, right? And like one of the things that the world is lacking right now is leadership. And I feel like I'm helping, you know, pave the way for the next, generation of leaders, which is what the world needs. We need leaders. We don't need followers. And so I think like of all the things, that's the legacy that I want to leave behind. That, yeah, man, it's powerful stuff when you really think about it. You know, it's a heavy topic because of how I feel about it. At the end of the day, you know, means a lot to me to see the guys not only, you know, learning the business, right? And then putting responsibilities on them and looking back and saying, I did that, you know, or at least I had a role in it. You know, I can't take all the credit because it takes the person that's learning from me or anybody else for that matter to put forth the efforts that it takes to grow off of the things you learn, right? Because like anything else, you know, you can read and you can be taught all these things, but if you're not receptive and you're not, you know, taking it in stride every single day, then, you know, it's not going to work out for you. So it's kind of a twofold, relationship. One is me and the willingness to, you know, take the time and sit with my guys and teach and learn and grow. And it's also on them to take the lessons that are learned and even, you know, not pushback per se, but I feel like a lot of my guys, like I have no ego about me. And I think that's super important in this business. You know, you can't have a ego, dude. There are 1,000 ways to skin a cat. And if you're not leaning into your guys and you're not leaning into your crew and you're not asking for some input or a little bit of pushback. And I don't mean pushback in a negative way, but pushback in terms of like having the conversation or having the communication. We go on jobs and I'm looking at something one way and another guy might come on and look at it a whole nother way. And it might give you perspective to make something work a little bit easier. And I also want to see how my guys' minds are working. I want to see how intuitive they are into what we're trying to do because it's a big role. And at the end of the day, in trying to build leaders, I give the reins to the guys a lot because, I think it's important for them to not only be decision makers, but when they make those decisions, you know, how important are they? And if I push their agenda forward, there's a feeling of, gratitude that comes across them too. So, these are just, you know, small things, I think, but they're really big at the end of the day and they're huge for me. And that's the impression I want to leave behind. And, you know, God willing, I have another 40 years on this earth. Hopefully I'm not in diapers or something. But with that being said, when the time comes, you know, these are the things I want to be remembered for. I want to be remembered as a good person, and a kind heart and a giving person and someone that gave his time and his energy to anybody that he came across. You know, as long as you did right by me, I'll always do right by you. That's kind of like my creed. Then again, if you I don't want anything to do with you. But with that being said, if you've stayed on the straight and narrow with me and we've, you know, kept in contact and we've kept good relations, man, it's all good and it's appreciated. And, you know, as far as this channel, man, I'm just forever grateful every day, which, you know, there are guys out there with 250,000 subscribers and guys out there with 1,000,000 subscribers. And that's all great. Maybe one day our day will come. But the fact that even 450 people went in and want to watch our content, are interested in what I have to say is pretty wild to me. I'll be honest. I'm a kid that kind of like had some really tough hardships. And like the fact that people listen to what I have to say is mind blowing, even if it's people. So thank you guys for being here. And if you haven't subscribed already, man, you see I'm an emotional guy. I really mean what I say. I'm really into this. You know, I talk from the heart. When you watch these videos, it's me speaking from the heart. It's not coming from any other place. I have zero agenda. I don't make money off YouTube. I'm not trying to. I just enjoy creating content, talking about things that are near and dear to my heart and trying to help you guys in any way that I can, because that's what it's all about. So, if you haven't subscribed, man, hit that subscribe button, man. Smash the like button. Give us some love. Again, we appreciate you guys being here. If you have any questions or comments or thoughts on this video or any other topic that you want to hear me talk about, drop one down below. We appreciate it. It really helps us. Honestly, those comments do help the algorithm as well. I want to get conversations going with you guys. I respond to every comment. I've never not responded to a comment ever, even when people talk. There's always going to be haters, always going to be naysayers. It's okay. We could talk to them too, man. I respond to them also. Sometimes I just respond with a laughing face because I'm sure it annoys them, but it doesn't make a difference, man. We're here to learn. We're here to grow. At the end of the day, that's what life is all about. So once again, I appreciate you guys. I hope you're having an amazing day. Hope you're crushing it, not only in your business, but in life. Have a fantastic day.